Hi, I'm Susan, and welcome to Being Mindful. In today's meditation, I am using some affirmations that were shared with me from one of my co-meditators from a webinar by ThinkHuman called Real Conversations on Blackness. These affirmations are very powerful, and I'd like to share them with you today and have you meditate with me on how it feels to use these affirmations for yourself, and also to consider how people of color, people with identities different from yours, may feel in relation to how you have treated them, intentionally or otherwise. So what I've done is I've put these affirmations in the comments section so that if you're the kind of person who benefits from reading a particular statement, you can do that as I read the words out loud. If you are an auditory learner, you may prefer to keep your eyes closed and listen to my reading of these affirmations. For each affirmation, I read the affirmation twice. The first time I read it, I encourage you to just take it in as a whole. And then for the second reading, you might consider words or phrases that resonate for you, or you can continue to hear it as a whole. But I think it's helpful to hear it once first and then really hear it the second time. In the silence that follows, I encourage you to reflect on the words or phrases or the affirmation as a whole, what it means for you as a human being, and notice what emotions may be coming up for you. That's part of what makes it a mindful meditation, is to notice what these words do for you, for your thoughts and for your emotions. So let's get started. So before we begin with the actual affirmations, I'll invite you to move your body in ways that might be comfortable. Being mindful in meditation doesn't mean we have to be perfectly still. It's okay to move. It's okay to yawn. It's okay to do what you need to do to be both alert and relaxed. I'll invite you to use your senses to become present to this space that we occupy. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, as we allow the happenings of the day to be shifted slightly to the side so that we can focus on this time, to acknowledge that our minds will likely be thinking about what happens after this meditation is done, and we can set those just slightly to the side as well. We can feel the ground beneath our feet. We can feel our bodies supported by the chair or whatever is holding us up. We can notice that we are breathing. And as we move into this first affirmation, I will read it aloud. You can read it with me, or you can just listen. I am allowed to acknowledge all that makes me human. I give myself permission to weep and to experience sorrow, to laugh or to cry, to make mistakes or feel failure, to grieve and to praise. And I will recognize my humanness and be submerged in all its glory. A second reading. I am allowed to acknowledge all that makes me human. I give myself permission to weep and to experience sorrow, to laugh or to cry, to make mistakes or feel failure, to grieve and to praise, and I will recognize my humanness and be submerged in all its glory. And now I invite you to sit with the affirmation as a whole, or words or phrases that speak to you in this moment. And now we will visit a second affirmation. I am deserving of respect. I practice kindness. I cultivate love towards others. And I have a right to expect that same energy to be emitted back to me. Being treated like a human is not too much to ask for. Therefore, I will make my petition known unapologetically. A second reading. I am deserving of respect. I practice kindness. I cultivate love towards others. And I have a right to expect that same energy to be emitted back to me. Being treated like a human is not too much to ask for. Therefore, I will make my petition known unapologetically. And with this last affirmation, in its original form, it was focused on skin color and for people of color. Not all of us are seen as less than for the color of our skin. So I've expanded it to include not just skin color, but other aspects for which we are made to feel less than. So I invite you to spend just a moment considering what aspects of who you are and your identity you might bring to mind during this last affirmation. I am worthy. The color of my skin, my gender, and my unique identities are not definitive of where I belong in this world, and no one will be allowed to disregard my presence or silence my voice based on my identities. A second reading. I am worthy. The color of my skin, my gender, and my unique identities are not definitive of where I belong in this world, and no one will be allowed to disregard my presence or silence my voice based on my identities. And as this practice comes to an end, I invite you once again to move your body, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, roll your shoulders. Begin to become present to the space you occupy. And if your eyes have been closed, you can open them as you're comfortable. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you found that meditation to be meaningful and moving. When I led this meditation with my group, many people had strong emotions during the meditation, and it required some pretty hefty processing afterwards. So if you are left feeling vulnerable, emotional, whatever has come up for you, I encourage you to take a few moments to take care of yourself. What I did with my group was to encourage them to use the compassionate hand exercise that I have shared elsewhere, but to basically find that place in your body that was most affected, where you feel that emotion most strongly. For me, it's often in my throat. I'm feeling it now as I speak. And to just place your hand lovingly on this tender area and allow that self-soothing, that self-comfort, placing perhaps another hand on the heart. And take the time you need to process what this may have brought up for you. And let me know in the comments, if you would, how that was for you. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.